Hey y'all, I'm Locklith and we are back with my 30 days ACNH challenge with day 17. But here are the rules. I have to finish the island in 30 days. It has to be a 5-star island. I can't rely on treasure islands or any of my islands for help. And I have to make 1 million bells in pumpkin profits. So we are back with the next 5 days of this challenge. I attempted to do 7 days for this, but I just feel like the video is going to be way too long, so I'm going to separate it to 5 days instead. We're going to do day 17 through 21 today, but I hope y'all have been good, and I hope you've been doing well, because we've got a lot to cover. I feel like I am coming close to that 30 days, and I'm spiraling just a tad. So we've got a lot to do today. So let's just get right into it. And this is going to be the final day, the very last pumpkin harvest for our pumpkin profits. I am so glad that we are finally on the last run of this, because now I can actually sell pumpkins for actual profits. And if y'all missed last episode, I ended up getting my first gyroid, and here's the little guy right here. So cute. I'm so glad it was a squeakoid. They are my favorite. But let's go sell our pumpkins for the final time. At least final times for our goal. It is goal number 4 in the rules that I set for myself to reach the 1 million pumpkin profits. So let's sell this big pocket full of pumpkins today. Oh my gosh, 100,800 bells. Timmy Tommy, thank you so much. Y'all have no idea what this means for me and this challenge of 1 million bells of pumpkin profits. Oh my gosh, y'all, we have come a long way. It has taken us 17 days to get to this point. Well, almost a million. Hang on. Now, 1 million. It's going to stay in this account. I'm not going to touch it because I just like the reminder that we actually reached our goal of one of our goals in this challenge. 1 million. We did it. We did a thing. And who knew that pumpkins would sell for so much money? But we do have a lot to do on the island today. We've got 2 more homes to move, and we've got more bridges and things ahead. We'll see what we get into today, but we do need to move Axel and T-Bone. Unfortunately, they are not staying, but their homes do need to move. So let's go ahead and get the first plot. And there we go. We've got Axel there. He will set the tone for this little area. We've got the misfits over here. And as you can see, I've got a little brown, like, dirt plot here with a tree in the middle. I've actually gone ahead and did that with all of the villager homes on the island. I wanted them all to have a little spot with a tree and pumpkins. So here's the start of something new for this little area here. And here is where T-Bone's house is going to be. But let's just add all of the pumpkins to the yards in this day. I need to get done with that and also my dailies. So let's get all of these things done before we do a little bit of designing. And I also went ahead and crafted a bunch of spooky items, and I already have a stash of pumpkins here. So let's grab the rest of these pumpkins and let's plant a bunch of these. And okay, Kurlos teaching me a resignation reaction. Nice. I feel like that might come in handy. So let's plant the rest of these pumpkin crops. I want to alternate the ones that are around the tree. I want to make sure none of the same colors are touching, you know, I want them to have pumpkins. We have reached our pumpkin profits, and this is our reward. A cluster of 3, hopefully 3, pumpkins around all of these trees. So let's water all of these, plant all of these, do the dang thing. As you can tell, it's really hard to water when there's a tree in the middle. And I unfortunately ran out of green and yellow pumpkins, so I will have to come back to that one later. Let's water these really fast, and so many watering cans I have gone through. It is ridiculous. Now let me customize a fishing rod and a shovel today because I want to place some of these on some of the builds that I've done. And I also made this table. I've been meaning to make one for my little music player that I have in the house. But let's move on to another day. Water our pumpkins, do some daily things, and instead of chopping these money trees after I have shaken them, I'm gonna start saving them because I need to plant more hardwood trees across the island. But there is the fishing rod that I wanted to add there. Why does it take me so many tries to get a balloon? I wanted to add that fishing rod there, and I also wanted to add a shovel here. But let's continue to water all of these pumpkins because I need to make sure there's clusters of 3. I don't want it 2 or like 1. I want them all to have 3. And I had to visit Carlos for a DIY. He was making an ironwood cart. And I do need to add a bridge here eventually. That is in the future. I don't have enough bills right now, but since we've paid off, or at least finished, our pumpkin profits, we can start using those pumpkins and selling them for actual profits that we can use on the island. So that is very helpful. But let's move T-Bone's house to the misfit area here on the hill. At least that's what I'm calling it. In another big area, running over here, I want to, I guess, clear the way. So that we can get to the secret beach back here, because right now it's not accessible and I need to make it accessible. So let's plan out how I want these cliffs to look naturally. I think that's a good shape, so we can start tearing this all away. And my best way of tearing things down, basically doing it by line, I guess. I'm basically going to demolish the shape that we have here, and then I'm gonna round out all the edges, and then I'm gonna, I guess, go line by line until it is all removed. It's gonna take a while, and you're only seeing a very sped up version of this, so you're welcome. I didn't torture y'all. But y'all are only watching a snippet of it, but that's what it looks like so far with the first tier gone. Let's work on this bottom tier, and I will be right back. And with these last 3 bits, just like magic, we have finished. We now have access to the secret beach, which is exactly what I was wanting. And we've got so much room for activities here. Like, look at all this space. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do back here yet, but There we go. We are going to finish day 17 right here with this big area. We did not a whole lot, just more planning. But now we are on day 18 of the series on this 5-day span. And let's just jump into the new day. Oh, a fresh crop of pumpkins that we can gather up, not for pumpkin profits, but for actual profits on the island and for future crafting as well. Because we still have a lot of pumpkins that I need to like craft, because I do want to pumpkin out the island as well. So that is a future me thing, but for now, we've got a lot of those in storage. And what I don't need to save are these one-off color ones, because really the orange pumpkins are the only ones I need to save for crafting, because you only need the orange ones to craft. So I can at least sell the green, white, and yellow ones. And along with that, I can also sell my fruit because they've all grown in. Now let's see how much we are earning, because we do have some things I need to purchase in these 5 days. So I think over 123,000 bells should be good to get us started today. But we also have a lot of Nook miles, 11,000 Nook miles. So one of the things I need to accomplish, a bridge. So let's grab one and place it. We have 2 more bridges left we need to place on the island. So let's get one of these done today, especially since we have enough bells. And since we have so many Nook miles, let's earn some things like this brick well DIY. And I'm going to get a few party lights as well, because I do need to do another speed build very soon. And I also want to use this park fountain. So let's grab all of those. We've used up all of our miles, which is unfortunate. And we're about to use up all of our bells as well, or at least a lot of it, by paying off this bridge. But it's so nice to be able to pay something off right away. And we can't quite pay it all off right now, unfortunately, but we will get it paid off today. Especially after I sell these pumpkins. And now we have enough to pay off the rest. It's so nice to pay things off, like I said. So now it is fully paid off, which is one step closer to finishing this island. Now this is going to be the area I want to work on day 18, is the area around Blather's tent and the campsite. Let's work on a speed build. We need to start working on speed builds, working on the island, because the 30 days are going to sneak up on us. We're over halfway through the series so far, and it's going to sneak up on me. I have a feeling I'm already, this is future me doing this audio. I'm spiraling. I feel like I'm not going to get done on time. I feel like that 5-star island is so far out of reach. But I can do it. I believe in us. We can do this. I hope y'all believe in me. But I do need to work on speed builds at least in every day from here on until the end of the series now, if I can help it. If not one, at least 2 speed builds. So we shall see. I have a feeling some of those last, 4-day episode is gonna be just panic. I'm just gonna panic, essentially, probably. I can see it now. I'm gonna panic and work on as many speed builds. It's probably gonna be like a 6-hour video that I have to, edit together. But I did want to work on this area because I thought it was going to be an easy win, because I have a lot of the items already. I have all the items I need for this build because I've been saving fossils, the smaller ones. I've been saving critters as well. So I think we have everything that I need for this build with minimal effort or crafting on my part. That's kind of how I'm going about a lot of these builds right now. Is what is an easy win? Something that I can do very easily. What do I already have to work with, that type of thing. I do have at least one future speed build in my head that I want to accomplish before the series is up. So I need to gather those items still for that one. But as of right now, for these builds, I'm just working with what I have. And what I have is a lot of critters, a lot of fossils, and it just makes sense to add it over here. So I'm going to let y'all watch this, and I will be back in a little bit. Oh man, but the struggle thus far with this build, I couldn't decide where I wanted certain items to go, so a lot of this has been moved around throughout the build, as you could tell. A lot of effort, a lot of brain power on my side. I've never struggled so much with where I wanted items placed. I say that, I know I probably have in the past, but because these items are very small and I don't know. It just was a struggle. I don't know if it's the panicking that is already occurring in this series that is happening, if that's really the cause, or if it's truly difficult to decorate with such small items. Either way, this build took me a little longer than I was anticipating. I mean, I did it all throughout day 18. It took me the entire time in this day to work on this build. For one, it was a struggle, and for two, I just didn't know exactly what the final look was going to look like, what the final product was going to be. Usually I have a bigger idea, but with this, I just had a collection of items with no rhyme or reason as to how I wanted them placed. So if any of y'all are struggling with designing and not knowing what that final look is going to be for a build, you're not alone on that. I clearly am struggling in this build, and I will probably struggle a lot with this island, especially as I'm panicking to finish it on time. So yeah, you're definitely not alone. It does take time, and just assume it's going to take you longer than you anticipated. But here we are. The build is done. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Benjamin is already fishing because it was, I think it was a fishing tournament on this day, which I did not participate. But anyways, this is what it looks like, and we are done with day 18. All right, it is a new day, day 19 of the challenge. I have all of my items that I previously got through the Nook stop, so I need to gather all of those up and then water my pumpkins because we need these for money that we can actually use now. But let's sell our daily things. Get some of that sweet, sweet bell cash and buy some things here in Nook's Cranny. I'm so sorry. Fret he was really wanting that item, and I just bought it right under his nose. He needs to stop staring at it and actually purchase things. You know, can't always just window shop. Somebody will buy it out from under you. So today's build is all going to be based around the park fountain. I knew I wanted to use this on the island. I just didn't know exactly where. And I think right here where all the... Oh, my God. Can I ever go a video without getting stung by a wasp? Please. What are the point of those? Luckily, I have my net out for all the other times that I shake trees and wasp come out. But I needed money because I need to go ahead and customize, or I guess change the colorways of all the items that I want to use in the build today. So it's going to be the biggest build so far, but I'm here on Harv's Island with my sad little face. Update all of the items that I've brought in my pockets. Hopefully I can at least update the items that I want to use in today's build, but I will be right back. One eternity later. And we finished that. That took way too long. It always takes forever because of the dialogue. I swear. Why is there so much dialogue with the dodos, with Reese and Cyrus? It's unnecessary. Am I the only one in this? It's unnecessary, okay? Is that being picky or rude? Because I don't think so. But we're back on the island. We are ready to build and design today. I want to do some pathing. This is another thing I need to think about and start doing is place the pathing. Even if I don't place items, at least do pathing throughout the island in one video or in several videos, just as I think about it. That way there will be less of a struggle later on. And since this is running to that bridge, we needed to do the pathing there, and I had this awkward space in between resident services and the campsite build from the previous day. So I need to just add some more gravel here and add just a few items. This was another struggle as to which items I wanted to use because this is kind of a weird space, but I run through here so much that I didn't want to put too many items. I wanted to keep it at a minimum, if that makes sense. And so at first I was placing, a milk crate here. Obviously this little boom box makes sense there too because the villagers love to sing around resident services, so I wanted to leave that. But the milk jug or crate was not working. And so instead I wanted to use this item that I believe Axel gave me. I'm pretty sure he gave me this water fountain. So I wanted to place it back, and then I also wanted to have an actual workbench here, so that if I am running around and I need to quickly craft something or throw something away, I have them right here next to resident services. So now that we have everything we should have for this build, I need to plan out how I want this pathing to be. So I kind of did a few different options here to kind of help me figure it out, but I essentially decided on the in-game pathing, the light dirt, with the tile kind of overlapping it. So I wanted to use mainly the white tile with that like rust colored tile or clay tile as an accent. And so I did a basic shape of pathways leading to Abel's and to Nook's. And then I also wanted to add some dark dirt for some flowers as well. So I will let y'all watch a little bit more of this pathing, and I'll be right back. Pathing is done. I did a little checkered bit there, but I also wanted to have a little bear picnic over here. I've had these bears just sitting here, and I don't know if it's because they've just been sitting here forever or if I just knew I wanted to have a picnic here, but I've just been staring at them sitting here for so long that it just makes sense. Let's just add the two pandas here. Pandas. Only one of them's a panda. The other one's a bear. We'll add the two bears here, the picnic basket, this pumpkin juice, and then we'll add some flowers around here because, I don't know, I feel like I want it to look a little bit structured. Whenever I think of structuring something, I usually add flowers with the dark dirt underneath. I usually do it around shops as well. And then of course clusters of flowers, but let's do some more pathing around Abel's and around Nook's Cranny. I really love this, like, I don't know, worn away pool tile. Is it technically what it is? It's supposed to be like for an abandoned pool, like a swimming pool, not just a pool of water, like a swimming pool. Imagine it like being moldy and kind of like wearing away. That's kind of what this tile is. And I thought I wanted it over here by Abel's, but I wanted to add more blankets because I have all these blanket codes and I haven't been using them enough. So I wanted to add a few of those here because this is Abel's. They work on clothing and like fabric and things. So I wanted to add a mixture of tile and the blanket codes here. And we're just gonna stick with the basics, and what we know, what we usually do with Able Sisters is add clothing. And the focal point of the build is of course the fountain. So I wanted to add that really quick before I forgot. And then let's add all of the items that we have so far. A lot of clothing items, some boxes, and then around Nook's Cranny, of course, we've got the like storage, like the items you buy at the store, you know, the shelves. I can finally use this milk jug. It's a jug, not a crate, because if it was a crate, it would be a box, right? These are the questions I always ask myself. I always second guess. And another thing that I have is this backlit sign, which I left it on the open because Nook's Cranny is open. And every day I buy a piece of candy, and I needed a place to have them. So I will eventually do the Halloween event that will be in a future day for the series. I just haven't time traveled ahead enough days to actually do it, but we are getting close to that. So look forward to that because I need to get the pumpkin carriage. I need to earn that and a few of the other like outstanding spooky items I haven't learned yet. And I also want some of the items that Jack will give me. So now let's finish up the Abel's area. I've got this basic teacher's desk. I wish it was a sewing table, but I don't have that. I'm just working with what I have, and I need to add pumpkins and things throughout as well. I need to remember that. But I do have pumpkin fencing, so we are using that in the build today, along with a few just stuffed items or stuffed animals and toys. I thought it made sense around Nook's Cranny and Abel's to have a little cluster of like toys and things that you can purchase, and then a little tricycle there. Maybe Timmy or Tommy rode their bike to work. And again, adding more pumpkins, of course, because I need to add more. And then a few items over here. Some of these random spots are kind of hard to decorate for. And again, I'm trying to keep the clutter down to a minimum, but I don't know, because this was such a large space, it was very difficult for me not to clutter it. So this turned out very cluttered. You know, it's just how it turned out. This is just how it's going to be for this area. I have a feeling I'm going to run out of items very quickly by the amount of clutter that I've so far placed on the island. And look at Gabby over here. Isn't she cute? I had to take a moment and sit with her because she's just adorbs. But back to finishing up Abel's with a few items, and I wanted to add a few like costume type items as well. And I accidentally put the maid gown on, so that was an accident. I wanted to place it. So there we go. We've got that and the jester mask. That looks nice as the costume for the store. And I added the curtain there so it can essentially just cover up what Abel's is selling because I don't really care. I want to cover it up. I want them to always sell the costume. But we have finished this build today. It took a while. I'm so happy that we have another large build under our belt. But let's move on to the next day. It is day 20 on the island. I don't know why Fret is back here. Please save him. But it is day 20, and we've got a lot going on. Yes, I forgot I was lazy and sold, I don't know, one item in the drop box the day before. Yeah, I've never once done that until today. But we're also an active island resident. We have successfully gone through 50 in-game days, even though we're on day 20. But we have more pumpkins to sell. We need more money. Please, Gib. And before I was able to water all of my crops, my water jug broke. And I will forget that I didn't water that last set of 9. But Axel decided to teach me a reaction, the encouraging one, which is nice. A very positive way to start the day. But let's do our dailies like we do on the island, of course. And while I was organizing my pockets, doing a few things in my home, I ended up having a visitor. Pashmina visited the other day, and now it's this guy's turn. I'm making fun of him. I love Benjamin. He's so cute. I don't mind that he visited. He gave me a wall-mounted phone, which is kind of cool. And yeah, let's move on to what we were doing. But we have a bunch of things to sell again. Thank you, thank you. And today is going to be a day of trees. So I have a bunch of saplings to buy. Like a bunch. But let's go plant all of these. On a past day, after I recorded for that day, I ended up knocking down all of my trees. So a lot of the trees on the back of the island are non-existent. So we have so many trees to plant today. So that is our main focus in today's video, is to plant trees, is to basically undo what we did in a past day. I don't know how else to describe that, but I basically just have to grow a bunch of trees. So this is going to take a while, and I won't let y'all watch a lot of this planting of trees because it's a little painful, the amount of trees I had to plant. And boy, did I say I had a lot of trees, because look at this cliff. Look at all these little saplings. I'm not going to worry about stunting any of these. We are not worrying about that today. But another thing I need to work on is this area here. I just randomly had the idea, the audacity, to create some cliffs here to place a lighthouse. It's been a long time since I've done this trick, or I guess it's not really a trick. It's just placing a lighthouse on a cliff on the peninsula with a incline. And it just makes sense to put the lighthouse on a cliff because it's huge, and to make it seem even taller, kind of that tricking the eye thing, you place it on a higher level. And so on the peninsula made this most sense to me, and a lot of people have done this in the past. This is not an original design, but I definitely wanted to add it here because I didn't know what else to do with the peninsula. And I still don't know what to do leading up to the secret beach. That's still a future me problem, but at least we've got some of the beaches done today with light decorating, basically weeds. And then this cliff for the lighthouse, which we need to also go purchase. But I also did a little light designing with all the beaches and then the leading up to the cliff area, and then this little picnic spot right here as well. And the ukulele has a new home. It is no longer over there where Gulliver was before. Do y'all remember that from one of the early days? But anyways, I need to buy the lighthouse, and man, 5,000 miles is a lot. But another thing, light waterscaping, y'all. Light waterscaping. We planted all the trees, but we have some more waterscaping to do because I need to make things look a little bit more natural. This little pond on the back of the island where these cliffs are was really bothering me, and I needed to do something. It just looked weird. It wasn't as strange as the fish tail that we got rid of in a previous day, but it looked weird enough that it just had to go. It had to go. So I had to do a lot of that, but there is, I guess, my best effort. It's just a weird shape, and it's very thin in this area, but I basically wanted to trickle it down to the bottom level, so I will work on that really quick, and I'll be right back, y'all. And with that, it is finished. Look at that little trickle down. I'm very happy with how this looks. A lot better than what it did before, and we didn't have to plant more trees. So I'm gonna do a little bit more waterscaping. I'm gonna add just enough land here so that I can add a tree with like flowers around it, just to add a little bit of something to this waterfall instead of it's just being, just water. I wanted to add just a little something extra. But there are a few more trees on that cliff. And we finished off this area, and we're going to move on to a new day. All right, new day, new dawn. Let's grab our lighthouse out of our mail, and let's place it. There's also going to be an incline here, so that's a future me thing. But let's place the lighthouse, and I'm happy with the colorway that I automatically got, like the default one that I got for the island. I like the black and white. It looks nice. It's very, very Halloween-esque. I don't think I've ever had a black and white one on an island before. But let's get that ramp and place it. But not before I get upset at Kurlos here, because he wanted to leave. Maybe a future, I don't know, villager hunt on the horizon, but we'll worry about that later. Let's place the incline, because we need a way to reach the lighthouse without having to use a ladder. And we do not have enough bells for this right now, so I will pay that off later. But look at all of our little tree saplings. They are growing in nicely. None of them are not growing, I guess. They're all going to grow, it seems. But that is what we have accomplished in day 20, or on day 20. That all the trees have been planted, and the lighthouse area here. I'm very happy and proud of what we've accomplished. I wish we could have done more, but that's all we're doing for this day. Alrighty, y'all. It is day 21, the last day in this video. We've got quite a bit to cover today. I want to do another build with some items that I already have. And remember when I said I forgot to water these? Yeah, I only have a cluster of 2 for this last 6. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. But you know what else is also upsetting? That It's gone. It's gone forever. I should have known. There's too many weeds under here. Oh, and I forgot how nice this build is over here in the shopping district. Very happy with how that turned out, but let's sell our pumpkins. Let's get some bells. We have an incline to pay off. We finally have enough bells to do that, so let's pay this off. And it will be, I guess, built in the next day. So happy. Another thing done on the island. But this is going to be the area we're going to work on today. We're going to work on one of the residential areas. I want to work on, so Gabby, Pashmina, and Sydney are the ones that live over here. And so I've got quite a bit to cover, a lot of ground to cover here. And I had a bunch of mushrooms, basically the Mario items. I had a lot of the large mushrooms and small ones and some of those really, tiny ones as well. And I knew I wanted to have like a mushroom forest of sorts. And so I wanted to add all of those here. And I don't know why Pecan is hanging out over here. This is not her residential area, but I guess she's just jealous that she doesn't have a mushroom forest. But these girlies will definitely benefit from the beautiful designing that they're going to see when they walk out their door. Hopefully they don't mind mushrooms. I really didn't ask their preference on that. I love mushrooms. Do y'all love mushrooms? Okay, question. Do y'all love mushrooms? And if so, do you eat mushrooms on your pizza? I know pineapple on pizza is a big thing, but I don't have an opinion on that because I am allergic to pineapple. But I love mushrooms on my pizza. In fact, I used to ask my mom to just order me a mushroom pizza, like no pepperoni, just the regular cheese, marinara, and mushrooms on a pizza. That was like my go-to. And she would let me get it because she liked mushrooms too, and so she would also eat it. But I don't know, did anyone else really like just mushrooms on their pizza growing up? Is that just me? I don't know why younger Lockleth loved mushrooms so much that she wanted to just have them alone on her pizza. Yeah, that might be a strange thing to admit. But anyways, we're adding mushrooms everywhere here in this build. We're adding a bunch of mushroom codes. I've got mushroom items. I'm turning around the Mario items so you can't see the little faces, of course, because then it doesn't really look as realistic, I guess, as realistic as you can be with a bunch of giant mushrooms in a forest here. Pecan was just hanging out with me all day, but I think she had to go shopping, so she did walk away for a little while. And of course, we need to add more candy. I need to add more candy throughout the island. That's probably going to be one of those things that I sprinkle in towards the end of the whole island designing, is a bunch of candy and a bunch of pumpkins. I have a feeling one video is going to just be me adding candy codes, maybe mushroom codes, but mainly pumpkins and candy codes. But I ran out of mushrooms, the big ones, so I need to buy some and pull them out of my mailbox the next day so we can place these final ones. I bought 3 large ones, 1 small, and then one of the, I think it's one of the red Mario mushrooms. But since we're on to another day, the incline is here. It looks so lovely over here now. This actually is starting to look like a finished island. There are things coming together. But this rock needs to not. It needs to move. I'm tired of it. I don't want to run into this rock anymore, so let's just yeet that out of the way. But here is what the mushroom area looks like right now, but I do have a few last minute ones to place, so I'm going to do that really quickly. But there we go, doing one last little run through of all the mushrooms here. We have some mushroom umbrellas as well, and I do think I'm gonna extend it further out, but I need to buy more mushrooms. I'm out again. But this is what this looks like. So I guess this is probably my least cluttered build so far, but I like it. I like things being sparse. Maybe I'll add more flowers throughout the build. But for now, I kind of like how this looks and the sparseness of it, but I am spiraling a bit. We need to move on to future builds, but like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you've been enjoying this series so far. We just got through day 17 through 21 today. Cross your fingers and toes, y'all, that we'll finish our other goals, but we did finish Pumpkin Profits. But thank y'all so much for watching.